What's up, YouTube? ODST Journal back again with some more Operation Trebuchet news. As you guys may have noticed, if you do follow the mod regularly, on the Reddit at least, there was no Uplink again this week. But there was still a little bit of news. Actually, had I made this a little bit earlier, it wouldn't have been really any good news because there would have been a couple things that had gotten left out that came up today. So going right off the bat, one of the first things I read today is that the 26 MEU is down. That would be the server that's formerly 5th Fleet, run by Lofton, and that Lofton was away and nobody could seem to find him. Now, if you guys are familiar with the online for this, you know that there's not really a whole lot of public servers, and that as far as population goes, 26 MEU is the best population. 26 does run 2 servers, though. The other one is run by Bill Clinton, and that is an Australia server. That's still up, and Bill has basically said that while the main server is down for over length of time, he is open to changing things as necessary, and that he's willing to get rid of Australia or change various other features as need be, and that he doesn't plan on having a server go anywhere. So there is that as a backup until the main 26 does go back up, if and when that is the case. Now, with that being said, Lofton did end up actually posting on this thread stating that he's actually in another state right now trying to raise funds to get the server going, as he is in between jobs and has no income to pay for the server. So that kind of leaves us with the Eridanus fleet, which I still have yet to play with, and the alternative 26 MEU server that runs Australia, which is kind of interesting because I haven't played Australia yet. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of the idea of that. Moving on, not a whole lot as far as development news goes. Nothing's come out of the Covenant mod itself. As you guys may have noticed, though, or my previous video labeled Covenant, the Covenant are getting added in. Unfortunately, I'd hoped to get some answers from a more official source, and that ended up not being the case. I didn't have a chance to. But yeah, the Covenant are being added, so like I said in my other video, we don't know whether that means they're going to be added officially through Optray, or if that's just their way of showing support to the Arma 3 Covenant mod. As has already been stated a few times, they've already actually helped the Covenant mod get some of the things in-game and working, like the plasma rifle, which video has been shown. I don't think I've linked that or shown that previously, but the plasma rifle has actually been in-game for some time now. The picture showed a Covenant cruiser, probably like a CCS class or I think a CAR class or something like that. And it's basically like the typical cruiser you see in the original Halo and Halo 3 and all. Yeah, it's the main one that the Covenant use. And it leads to a lot of questions, but here's my thing about that is the reason that I'm so excited for the Covenant isn't just the fact that the aliens are going to be so much different than fighting insurrectionists and what's Halo without the Covenant. It's the fact that, as far as this mod goes, there's still some really dedicated people that follow it, but, a month and a half ago, if I were to hop on, or, before they changed from the Eridanus insurrection over to Optray, if I were to hop on to, like, Fox Gaming, even in, like, the middle of the night, there'd still be, like, 20 people on. In the middle of the day, you could get 30 to 50 people on the server, and now it's like, you're lucky if you see 10 people on the 26 MEU. And I see people posting in the forums all the time, well, where can I play this? Where can I play this? And everybody goes, well, there's 5th Fleet, but, And these people go to play, and then they go to something like 5th Fleet, but because these numbers are slowly declining, all this new blood's coming through, and they don't have anywhere to play, so they're seeing these servers that nobody's on. Now, I'm hoping that when the Covenant comes through, news sites like Kotaku and stuff who had previously actually grasped onto this will probably do an update on it, saying, oh, hey, look, the Covenant's out now, too, so you guys can live out your, wildest Halo fantasies and this and that. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Because I really do think that the Covenant are the best chance of really revitalizing the mod and bringing it up to the number of players on average day that the community would see during the Eridanus insurrection time. So, moving away from that, though, there's a couple of things that did come out development-wise this week. There was another shot of the longsword, showing it to scale with a AI skeleton, and showing that the center had been cut out for some reason. Now I'm hoping that means that we'll be able to walk around inside of it, because that's something I really would love to be able to do. The person developing it said basically the only thing that will be able to launch it is a full-size runway, so that means this one right here, this airbase at the center of Altus, is probably one of the only runways that will be able to take it. Maybe, well, obviously this one's just, a bunch of flat salt. That one, it could probably take off from too, but the only actual runway is going to be this one that will probably be able to handle that, just because of its sheer size. I don't see this one or this being able to handle it, especially not that one. That one's really small. Maybe possibly the actual frigate once it's fully developed, depending on how its hangar's set up. We might be able to see a launch from there if it's something like the original Halo, where basically you have the longsword just pointing right out the bay, and then it just kind of drops off into space, and then like everything else, like all the pelicans and stuff, are set up above it, and then all the warthogs and bays off to the sides of that runway. That's all theory, though. Like I said, ultimately what it comes down to, though, is development has confirmed that it's big. And you guys can see that in the picture here. I'll have cut into the video. So, the other piece of development news is the M6C was shown off some. That is the one of the alternate pistols. I'm not going to say the alternate pistol, because there's a lot of different pistols that have seen use in Halo. The M6D, M6C, the M6G, I think, was in Reach. I'm not sure. Can't remember which one Reach used. But the C was the one used in Halo 2 and Halo 3 ODST. Maybe the G was in Halo 3, I can't remember. But you'll see not only the stock version of it, but its attachments, which means the SOCOM silencer that is used in ODST. So that's a really awesome looking pistol. It's going to have like a matte black finish, I'm sure, if it's based off of what the game has. That's really all there is for development news. Now, as I stated a little bit ago here, just not too long ago in the video, we've got all these new people coming in, and they're going, okay, well, what can I do with this mod? Because there's all these great assets, and the assets are very wonderful. But if you're not a mission maker, then you're probably going, well, what the heck do I do with all this stuff? It's not good to me if I can't play it or use it on something, and I don't know how to make my own mission. Well, I took a few seconds to learn how to use MCC, so you're going to have to forgive me. Like, literally when I say a few seconds, I mean a few seconds. And it is thankfully that simple that you can just jump on there and use it. So, you're going to want the MCC4, which is required for the 26 MEU servers anyways, and I think a couple other people require it. And when you're on whatever map, now right now I'm on the frigate template from Steam, you scroll down, you go to MCC, and you've got this login button that should appear in your lower right hand corner. This will be the average screen. So you click login, and got a whole bunch of different things that you get options for. And I really haven't played around with all these, so you can click somewhere to spawn AC 130. I don't know why you would do that in a Halo mod, but you could. It's got Zeus built in, so you can just click somewhere and be like, bam, Zeus. And I'm getting a little bit of lag today on my computer for some reason. I haven't been able to pin down the source. I suspect it's because I'm actually downloading some mod packs for Arma as we speak, and that's probably the cause of that. Oh. But in order to create a mission, all you have to do, go to Mission Generator. And this makes it really easy. So you select who you're up against. Now, I think this one's the obvious choice. You're going to go up against the insurrectionists. I think the CAA is the guerrillas added from Halo. I'm not sure. And then the UEG civilians. That's the United Earth Government. So we're going to select, of course, insurrectionists. And actually, no, let's make it some more games. We're going to select UNSC. We're up against UNSC. And it's a little bit wonky, I've noticed. We're going to go with civilians. Number of players is 1. It's just me. You can select the difficulty. Is there close quarters combat or battle? If so, is it with or without civilians? We'll say yes, without civilians. No, we're not going to use stealth. Yes, we want precise location. And yes, we'd like map markers. And then it gives you an option for different mission objectives. So your mission could be like destroy weapons cache. And then once that's destroyed, you have to go and acquire intel from their base. And then kill a high-value target inside the base too before he's able to escape. And then you can say, well, there is vehicles for sure, but I don't want any armor. I don't want vehicles either because it's just me. And whether or not they get reinforcements. So you can say, well, they don't get reinforcements. They do, they don't. They maybe do. Maybe they don't. Artillery or mortars, both are an option. We'll go ahead with the music and intro. Music's quiet anyways. You've got your IEDs, suicide bombers, armed civilians, roadblocks, animals, all sorts of great stuff in here. So, you click Generate Mission. And you'll get this, and it basically builds the mission as we speak. So, you can see it's populating the objective and stuff, and it does this all automatically for you. Now, this is great because you can do this with more than one person, obviously. You could have a server of 30 people here and just throw this down and have something, well, Zeus sets up another mission and, off somewhere else that's actually, thought out and everything. So you have to kill or capture Captain Kyle O'Sullivan. Darn, we're on the Irish planet. Just have to stop their potato crops and, collapse their economy. I don't know what the AC is. But, we're setting up for this mission. I mean, I do already have a close range. Oh.
Operation Flaring Rain. Enemy presence in the area has been
That's a long title.
And they're using civilian buildings to fortify themselves. HQ informs us that infantry are present. Also, they've established hasty checkpoints on some of the roads leading in and out of the area. Keep an eye out for anything that might look suspicious, as we believe that they may employ IEDs or even suicide attacks. The local civilians support the enemy, so be on the lookout for any strange behavior. But keep civilian casualties to a minimum, as the top brass don't want to draw unnecessary attention. Be advised, the enemy have aerial and motorized quick reaction forces nearby. Expect enemy reinforcements should they become aware of your presence. That is all. Go over your objectives. Gear up and get ready. Mission is a go.
Okay, so basically, you get that, it makes up a random name. It gives you the voiced intro to the mission. And that's really awesome. I mean, for something where it's like you snap your finger and there, boom, you got a mission. That's a cool tool to me. Let's go ahead. We'll give it a shot. I really don't expect to come out of there. in one piece, but doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. Can I set up the drops aren't set up for this? I'm so used to 26ME where they've got the drops scripted in, but that's okay. We'll take a Pelican, we'll take a Warthog out with this. What Warthog do I want? Is there a Goshawk in here? There's not a Goshawk? What kind of fiend made this mission? I didn't bother looking last time. That's fine, though. So, you guys might be wondering, okay, well, if they're not concentrating on developing new stuff quite as much as they have been, what is the mod team doing? And basically, they're looking to squash bugs. We're in gear up, okay. Go ahead and engage those forward thrusters, you know. I do love this mission, though, because they put rockets into the wings. Not the right model for that, but that doesn't really matter to me. Now, I really don't expect to come out of this in one piece. I really just am doing this to show you guys what this tool is like. Alright, so they're holed up in that town over there. Hopefully they didn't see me flying in. I mean, a much better pilot would have come in below that ridge line. That smoke's not a good signal, though. Okay, so let's kill the engine, detach your Warthog, and we'll get out. Should have opened the ramp for authenticity. Whatever. Okay. Like I said, hopefully they didn't see me. I'm pretty certain they did, but you never know. Should I have been smart instead of getting a shotgun? I would have gotten the sniper rifle, but what can I say? I'm like Romeo. Captured. Oh, shoot. Well, these guys are showing up as friendly, so I don't know if they're going to shoot at me or not. So it's Army Riflemen. Now, obviously, those guys would be Op 4 in this case. So, Op 4 checkpoint outside. But this does afford me certain benefits. So I can run up in here and hopefully there shouldn't be any enemies. Looks like they generated some sheep. exciting stuff. Cheap AI. You got a squad patrolling around. The lag is real. And the download's only halfway done. It's a big download. So yeah, I mean, you got... Oh, wow, that's a really big fire team. Holy cow. Apparently I was supposed to engage all this by myself. Squad leader, medics, riflemen. I imagine trying to engage this all by yourself, though. That's the only thing. I mean, that's one of the benefits of having not only the option to play around Zeus, so you can set up friendly AI outside, but just being able to pick the difficulty at the outside of the mission. I would presume that you can go in Zeus and then delete these enemies too after the fact to make the mission a little bit easier. Although I feel like that would take away some of it. Well, let's go over here. We got some sort of objective over here. I think we had to destroy the cache of weapons. And other Halo news, the Halo series as a whole has reached 65 million sales. It's a lot of sales. A lot of Halo. It's not too bad for a system or a game that's been primarily on one system. I don't think I've got any explosives. I don't. Okay. So that's when you go into Personal Arsenal and you go, oh, you know what, I did have explosives. I really did, as it turns out. I just didn't notice them at first. Don't like that I can't set this one. Ah, that was a hard attack. Half a minute should do. Maybe. Keep in mind this is A, so you get shrapnel and stuff, so we'll go to a safe distance here. Just to be on the safe side, we'll hang out over here by this windmill. That should be enough. By a lot, actually, because I was a lot closer to explosions. Okay, so... weapons destroyed. Gotta get a satellite phone for intel. Now, at this point, had I not been fighting the UNSC, I would have started getting, like, QRF guys by now. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't have probably gotten past those guys I saw before, but still. Oh, there was something there. Oh, Captain Sullivan. Alternatively, if, randomly generated missions isn't really your bag, there is a couple of missions on Steam. If you guys search Optray and change it to most recent, there's a few missions that have come out since version 0.12 released. You just have to kind of keep an eye out on which version that was last designed for. I let my guard down. I know I had my gun raised and I should have been able to kill him, but I hesitated because I was like, oh, maybe I'll be UNSC again and he won't shoot at me. That was a mistake. But you know what? We're going on about 25 minutes here. I think we covered a pretty good amount here since we didn't have an uplink. I think that was a good way of making up for it. Like always, make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for any more Operation Trebuchet news and content. I'm trying to be the #1 source for it. Hopefully, I'm accomplishing that in some way, shape, or form. And make sure to share this and spread it with your friends. Hey, alright, thank you guys for tuning in.